Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a bag collection video. I have had so many requests to do this and I've put it off for a really long time because I didn't know quite how to tackle it because I have a lot of bags, but I have done a lot of culling. I have downsized my bag collection. It may not seem like it because I still have a lot of bags, but it feels a bit more manageable to do this kind of video now. So I'm going to share with you every single bag that I own. I hope you guys enjoy this and let's get started. Before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know that 24/7 have gone live with their biggest offer of the season. So you can take 25% off your order and there are so many amazing items included. There is a full landing page selection where you can see everything that's included. So I will direct link that below, but I do also have a blog post rounding up all my favorites. So many of the pieces which I already own and love are included. So my new Chloe Woody tote, which is in the raffia and the leather style, that's included at 25% off. And my Marc Jacobs tote is also included. And I've not seen my exact colorway included since last Black Friday in any offers at all. So definitely a good one to check out. I will go ahead and link everything in the description section if you did want to take a look. Okay, so starting off with my absolute largest bag, which I'm not even sure it qualifies as a bag. I feel like this is kind of more luggage, but it is my Chanel Vintage XL Tote. This is huge, and it's so huge that I don't really wear it that much because it's just enormous. It's almost the size of me. I bought this in Japan a few years ago when I visited. I got it for a fairly good price. I think I got it for about £1,600 or something like that. And it was in pretty good condition for a bag of this age. It is quite old, so it has the proper gold-plated hardware and everything. You have that massive quilting all over. It is very large, and because that is very, very heavy indeed, so you can definitely feel the weight of this bag. Because of that, it's not the most practical. It's definitely more effective at making a statement than it is kind of being a super lightweight travel bag. I do mainly use it for kind of nights away or mini breaks. I did take it traveling once, but to be honest with you, it's just a bit too heavy and cumbersome for that, especially because I'm not really a light traveler, so I do tend to carry with, you know, my laptop, a few magazines, all that kind of good stuff in my hand luggage. I don't want anything too heavy, so this I tend to reserve for mini breaks anywhere where I'm traveling by car, so it doesn't really matter that's a bit heavy, but I do love it and I think it's gorgeous. Yeah, probably not the most practical, but it has a special place in my heart and I do think it's super, super chic. Next up is my Dior Book Tote, and this is also a very large bag, as you can see, but I love this and I'm not sure that I would love it quite as much in other prints. I do love a lot of the Dior Book Tote prints, but this one in particular kind of stole my heart. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's all embroidered as well, so this really does feel like a work of art. As soon as I saw it, I just fell in love with it, and I was a bit worried that it might be more of a novelty bag for me, but honestly I've had it for 2 years now, I want to say, and it's really not kind of lost its shine for me. I just think it's absolutely stunning. I love to look at it, I love to use it. It is really huge though, so again, I mostly wear this for kind of weekends away or like mini breaks, things like that. It's a bit much for me to wear as a daily bag. I have tried, but it's just a bit too large. Like, I don't need this much space, but for those kind of little mini breaks, nights away, I do think it's wonderful and it's just a work of art. Like, it is so, so stunning, fairly lightweight. It is quite comfortable to wear, even though it is a little bit cumbersome on your shoulder. I do wish that it had a slightly longer shoulder strap, but nevertheless, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I just think it is one of the most stunning bags I own. Next up is my Chloe Woody tote. And in terms of my most used bags, this has got to be up there because oh, I got my wear out of this bag. It's the bag I take every single holiday I go on, and that's not an exaggeration. Like, I will very rarely travel without this bag because it is so useful. It's a great plain bag because this thing is indestructible. Like, it can carry and hold so much, but despite that, it's very comfortable because you have such thick straps. And it also just feels like it's unbreakable. Like, it is so robust and strong and sturdy. And I just think it's wonderful, and as an added bonus, I also think it's chic enough to wear as like your daily bag when you actually get to your destination as well. So for that reason, it almost always comes with me. I just think it's wonderful. Mine's probably looking a little bit tired now just because I have worn it so much, and honestly, this bag gets abused every time I take it away. Like, Dan puts his things in, I have Leo's things in here, but I just wouldn't part with this bag. I think it's so great. I'd still highly recommend, and I don't know what I would do without it. The Loewe basket tote is another kind of holiday bag, but this bag and my experience with it has definitely emphasized why I love my Chloe Woody tote so much. I took this to Barbados and I did really like wearing it, but I just filled it with too many items and it has gotten a little bit misshapen right there in the corner, and that's after 2 weeks of wear. But I do expect a lot of my bags, I do really feel them full, so I don't really think it's the basket tote's fault. I don't think it was meant to hold as much as I'd pop in there, but definitely a lesson learned. I just need robust bags when I go on holiday, so I do still like it. I think it's very chic looking. I think that I would probably have more luck with this if I didn't have a toddler, but I do, and I do need to carry a lot. But yeah, I like it, but definitely for me, I need something a little bit more robust when it comes to holidays, but I do still think it is super chic and cute. And then I do have my smaller book tote, so this is in the small size. This is actually my lesser used book tote, which really surprised me because I thought that this would be way more used than my larger one, just because it's more of a manageable size. But I do also think that this is more of a summer style, especially because of the lighter color. I did get this at the tail end of last year, so I'm hoping to use this a ton during the summer. I've only used it a few times so far. I do like it, but not enough to really say anything too substantial about it. So definitely more manageable. I do like the fact that it sits nicer on the shoulder, but I'm going to reserve any further opinions for a couple of months' time when I've hopefully gotten a lot more use out of it. And then I do have my trusty Neverfull, and you're going to have to forgive me because I do have another Neverfull, which is my original GM size in the monogram. I'm not including that here simply because it's in storage upstairs in our bedroom and it's just too difficult to get to. I filled it with all kinds of items and yeah, I just didn't want to do that. So you're going to have to imagine that here, but I have that one and I have this one. I got rid of a lot of totes, including a couple of Neverfull styles, which I just wasn't wearing, and I'm really proud of myself as well because I feel like I love the Neverfull so much. I would have it in every combination, but I mainly wanted to particularly downsize my totes because I find them so difficult to store. Like, if any of you have figured out how to store tote bags, please let me know because it just completely stumps me. For the longest time, they were just on the floor of my closet, which I hated so much. So I made a really concerted effort to really downsize my totes, so I really only have a few styles now, which is much more manageable, and I definitely couldn't get rid of this one. I actually had this bag before and I gave it to my mum, and I missed it so much that I had to repurchase it. So she still has hers, she still loves it, and then I do have this one, which is still going strong. It's my daily bag at the moment. It's just filled with all my stuff. But yeah, it's so great. Can't say enough good things. I will never get tired of this bag. And then I do have my Saint Laurent Sans Corset bag, or the supple bag, and I love this thing so much. I think it's so gorgeous and chic, and I just love how it can be quite an under the radar bag, even though it's very kind of classically Saint Laurent. You can so easily hide that YSL logo. It's a beautifully made bag, very, very comfortable. The only negative thing I'd say is it can be a little bit of a black hole because there aren't any compartments, but that's always my preference. I would rather just have the big wide open space. And it's just great. It can fit a ton of items in. It feels like the right size for me. You can get the smaller one or the large one. For me, this is absolutely perfect, and it just feels like a really beautifully done, like, grown-up bag, and yeah, I just love it. So if you like your hobos as well, I would definitely recommend checking this out. I just think it's gorgeous. Going into my still quite large bags, but not kind of super huge styles. So first up, I have my Tory Burch Eleanor bag here, and this one, it inspires mixed feelings in me because I think it's so beautiful and elegant. I think it looks and feels so much more expensive than you might expect of Tory Burch, but it's not the most practical bag. So it is very delicate in terms of the smooth leather. You can definitely get a lot of scratches on here. You have suede on the sides. You have a very strong magnet, which I do kind of like because it's really satisfying to close. Like it just feels satisfying, but because of that, it's not super easy to access because it naturally does gravitate towards it being closed. It isn't the largest, despite it being quite a sizable bag, but because you do have that divider in the middle, there's not a whole lot of give with the leather either, so you can't fit a ton of items in. It is quite heavy as well, and it's a bit more of a kind of showstopper bag in that it's going to complete your outfit, and if you're dressing for work or, you know, a fancy meeting or dinner or something like that, I do think it's going to absolutely look the part, but I definitely have more functional and comfortable bags to use. So I think it's beautiful, and I love the fact that it looks so great and chic, but it's definitely not one where if you need to throw a lot of items in and go, this is going to be your go-to, if you know what I mean. But if you want something that's super sharp looking and that's going to really make your outfits pop, then this is a really lovely choice. I have spotted the mini one as well, which I think is beautiful. They do seem to have done that one in the pebbled leather, which is a really nice shout because this leather is a little bit delicate, but I do think it's a stunning style. I do hope they expand this whole line because it really is beautiful. And now for my Chanel Jumbos. So I do still have 3 Chanel Jumbos in my collection. I have my black one, I have my grey one, and my beige one, and I still love these. I don't wear them as much now, but I do think that's a particular kind of phase of my life that I'm in, just because when I go out without Leo, I tend to use a smaller bag, and then when I go out with Leo, I tend to use something a little bit bigger. So I don't have as much opportunity to wear these, but I think when Leo does get a little bit older, I will start using these a little bit more. But nevertheless, I've still gotten a lot of wear out of this bag and of all my Jumbos. I just think they are fantastic. You guys will know if you watch my channel for how much I love the Chanel Jumbo, but it's just such a beautiful bag, very, very robust. This one is now 13 years old, I think, so it is pretty old. I still think it looks amazing. The leather is still in wonderful condition. This has been caught in rainstorms and super hot weather and just everything in between, and it's just done unbelievably well. So I have been so happy with this bag. It's been such a trusty companion, and this is one bag I could genuinely never imagine parting ways with. It's just too many memories and I just love it too much. And this is my grey Jumbo, which since getting it, this has probably been my most used Jumbo. I just love the colour. I think it's surprisingly versatile. Like, it seems to go with a lot of my outfits, and I just love how it looks. So definitely been a successful purchase. I remember being so nervous when I got it because it was such a lot of money, and obviously it's way more now, but I think this was £5,000 when I got it, or maybe just over, and I was just in the store just dithering about whether I could part with that much money for it. Obviously I'm very glad I did, but it was a nerve-wracking purchase, but this has definitely been well loved. I love it so much, and I still adore it as much now as I did when I got it. And then I do have my Beige Clair Jumbo as well, and this is probably my least used Jumbo, and I do feel like I go through phases with this one more than the others, in that I won't use it for absolutely ages, and then I'll begin using it again, and I'll just kind of fall in love with it all over again and just use it constantly for a period of time. So I definitely go through bursts of activity with this bag more than the others, but I still think it's absolutely gorgeous. It excites me whenever I take it out as well. I love the shiny gold hardware with the beige, and yeah, not too much else to say about it. I just love my Jumbo so much. And then moving on from Chanel Jumbos, I do have my Speedy B. So this is in the Emprunt leather. This is the 25 size, and this has been such like a mixed purchase for me, and I still own it because I can't really bring myself to part ways with it, even though I don't feel like it's been a totally successful purchase. Like, I think it's got so many things going for it. I love the size. It fits a ton of items. Like, it's very, very roomy. It's pretty comfortable to wear, but for me, it's just been let down by the kind of softness of the shape. I have always used this with a bag lining because I wanted to protect its shape, but even so, I've seen denting there on the other side and also collapsing in on the corners. And I've read comments from everyone saying that it's 100% defective, I should take it back to LV. But that's also mixed with an equal number of comments saying they all do that. So I'm not really sure which one it is, to be honest with you. But for me, I'm kind of thinking it's probably more just like the natural wear and tear of the bag. I don't know whether it's intended to do that, but I've definitely been a little bit disappointed. I have had that experience with other larger Emprunt bags as well. So I tend to stay away from the larger Emprunt styles, even though I love the leather and I think it's beautiful. But apart from that, it is very functional, as I said, very comfortable to wear. I love the look of it. I love the colour I got. Like, I have a lot of good things to say about it, but yeah, the wear and tear has definitely been a little bit disappointing. And then I have my little Marc Jacobs tote, and this is such a great bag. Like, I will wax lyrical about this bag all day long. Like, it is just so good. It's not the most expensive bag I have, but it's been a consistent one ever since I got it because I find it so useful. It is great for days out with toddlers because despite being kind of a small mini bag, it actually fits a ton. Like, it fits so much. It's white clean, so I don't have to worry about sticky fingers or mud or any of those other things that I do have to worry about now. And it's just kind of great. It comes with a nice, comfortable long strap. Like, look at it, it's just huge, like it fits so much. The leather is very nice quality, but it's also quite malleable as well, so there is a lot of give with the leather. Zips closed if you want to keep your items nice and secure. I went for this nice kind of sand colour, which I do find to be very neutral. You do have the Marc Jacobs tote kind of embossed on there, but I don't feel like it's too in your face because it has matched the colour. And it's just been kind of great, so I would definitely recommend, like if you're after a nice kind of not too expensive bag, which still feels like a solidly made style, I would definitely recommend checking this out. I have been so happy with mine. It's just been such a great buy. And now for my Chanel 19 bag, and I've got to say, this is one bag that I have strongly debated parting ways with. I'm still very undecided, but for me, I don't really feel like I need two 19 bags in my collection, and I did get my Tweed one, which I'll share in a second, last year. And I've been so happy with that, and I think it's so beautiful. And since getting that, I have wondered, like, do I really need the grey one? Just because I do feel like that bag kind of scratches that itch for me and also combines the 19 look with that tweed bag that I've wanted since, well, forever from Chanel. So I'm still on the fence. This was my original 19 bag love. I do love the grey colour, but I've not really worn it that much recently, so I'm a little bit undecided, but I still do think it's a beautiful style, very, very comfortable to wear as well. The leather is just absolutely incredible. I love the soft greys that Chanel do. I think they do greys really beautifully, and I do think it's a really solid style, but yeah, I am a little bit undecided about this one. And then I do have a very new addition to my collection, which is the Celine Nino bag. I did a review on this the other day, but oof, I love this bag a lot. It is really, really beautiful. The leather is absolutely stunning. Like, if you can check this bag out in person, I would definitely recommend doing so, because I don't think you really get the essence of the leather, let's say, when you look at it online. It really is just beautiful. It's really soft and luxurious, nice shiny hardware, very comfortable to wear as well. You have the long strap and also the little top handle there. It's just kind of great. As I mentioned in my review video, I don't love the clasp, either opening it or closing it, but it's a minor niggle for me. Very, very roomy. You can fit a ton of items inside, and I just think it's kind of gorgeous. So definitely a new one from Celine, but so far I've been very happy with mine. I just think it's so stunning. And then I do have my Chanel 19 in the tweed. As I mentioned, I got this towards the end of last year, and it is my long-awaited Chanel tweed style, which I'm just so happy I have. I'm just so in love with this bag. I wanted a tweed style from Chanel for so long, and I was just so happy to find this. I got it for a fairly good price, and I just think it's gorgeous. It's a very, very dark navy colour, verging on black, and it has this beautiful white and kind of raspberry red tweed kind of striped effect all the way through. Beautiful braided gold hardware, and it's just the classic kind of 19 design where it's just very, very simple on the inside. I do have a bag liner in there to add a little bit of structure and shape. It is quite a soft bag, but that liner really does help with it. And then you have the beautiful hardware as well. So very, very happy with this. I just love Chanel tweed, and I love the tweed effect with a 19 bag. I just think this is so beautiful, and I'm so happy with it. And here is my Saint Laurent puffer bag. My love for the Saint Laurent puffer line is very well documented on this channel. I just think it's kind of wonderful. The leather is so beautifully soft. It's done really, really well. Despite that, it is extremely durable. Like, mine look really good, and I think that's because there is a certain level of, I wouldn't say wrinkling, but the texture of the leather does lend itself well to you not really being able to spot little scratches that easily, whereas obviously a very smooth leather, you're going to be able to see those scratches much more readily. But I love this. I don't have the larger one in my collection anymore. I did part ways with that one just because I use this one a ton more. I find the size a lot more versatile, and it's definitely my favorite size in terms of this style of bag. I just think it's kind of great. I love this color combo of the nude and the gold, and yeah, it's just a really, really great solid style, which is just so comfortable to wear as well. And now for its slightly more structured and streamlined counterpart. I always feel like the classic Lulu is just the slightly more formal, pulled together version of the puffer. I actually use this one a little bit less than the puffer now, just because that one is so comfortable to wear, but I still absolutely love this bag. I think it's so chic and elegant. This is the small size, which for me I think is perfect. I did have the larger size, which was just a little bit cumbersome for me. Like I just didn't really love it, even though I really expected to. But now kind of with time, I've really come to learn that I love this size bag so much. Again, I have it in the nude with the gold hardware, just a color combination that I know works for me. My only kind of big bugbear with it is I would definitely prefer it didn't have that divider in the middle, but that's fairly minor. It's done pretty well in terms of wear and tear. Like it is a smooth leather, but it doesn't seem to have done too badly, and it's just one of those bags which I feel like goes with everything, and yeah, I still absolutely love mine. And then I do have the Loewe puzzle bag, and I feel like I was the last person to jump on this bandwagon. I know it's been around for so long, but I was definitely late to the party. Nevertheless, I'm happy I'm here because I think it's beautiful. This is the newer style, which I believe is called the Edge bag. I'm not familiar with the original, but I would say that I've been really, really happy with this one. Of course, I got it in the nude with gold hardware. If you can't tell, that's pretty much my favorite combo. Maybe tying with white and gold hardware as well, but I do really love it. It is a fairly easy bag to use. I would say that I definitely think it could benefit from having the zip extended around the side because the opening isn't super large. Despite that, it is still quite roomy, it fits a decent amount, and it is very comfortable to wear. I like the fact that you do have the top handle as well as the long strap. I think it's one of those bags as well which it actually looks good every single way you wear it, so it looks nice on the shoulder, nice crossbody, and also good top handle. I don't think that's true of many bags. You have that nice kind of angled zip right there, which I just love so much. And I just think this is beautiful. Definitely a late convert, but I've been super happy with it so far. Now for my Gucci Dionysus, and this is one of those weird bags which I actually really love, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend, which is a strange combination of things, but there are a lot of flaws with this bag, and really its only redeeming feature is I just think it is so beautiful and so stunning, but it's just quite cumbersome to wear, and it's very heavy, and it's not very functional. Like there are a lot of bad aspects, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend this if you were looking for a really versatile bag which is just a breeze to carry. Like this simply isn't it. But if you just fall in love with bags and you really love beautiful details on bags, this is definitely like just one of those bags that you might fall in love with. I love the clasp so much. I think the Dionysus line is incredibly stunning. Like they really are works of art. It is quite robust leather. It opens up really easily like so. As I mentioned, it doesn't fit very much. You do have that divider right there, but yeah, it's pretty small in terms of capacity. It's very rigid as well, so there's no give with the leather. It's also extremely heavy as well, so honestly it's heavy empty. When filled, it feels like a weapon. Like it's so heavy. So yeah, I love it, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it that much. It's just one of those bags which I love purely because of how beautiful it is. And next up is my Louis Vuitton Capucine bag, and I got this either in December or January. I can't remember exactly which month, but it's become one of my most worn bags since then. I have absolutely fallen head over heels for this bag. I think it's pretty wonderful. I've mentioned before, but I do think that the kind of retail price is a little bit steep. I did get mine pre-loved. I got mine for, I think it was just below 1,800, and I've been super, super happy with it. So I would definitely say this is one that's worth looking at on the pre-loved market. It has seen a little bit of wear and tear, so I know that the leather does dent a little bit on the front there, and I assume that does play into resale value, but because of that reason, I certainly wouldn't be happy spending £5,000 on it. But for what I paid, I've been very, very pleased with it. It does have feet on the bottom there. It fits a decent amount, like it's not absolutely huge, but certainly enough room for what I might need to carry. Has a nice thick strap, so it is quite comfortable to wear. And I just think it's a beautiful looking bag, like it really does. It's one of those styles that very easily elevates your whole look. And I just think it's a stunning style, so I've been very, very happy with mine. So yeah, would definitely recommend if you can get it for a good price. Next up is a Senreve style, and this is their Cadence style, and I actually feel like this is a really underrated bag because it is so beautiful. So it opens up just by pressing the sides in like so, and then the opening just kind of folds in, so you have one opening there and then the other one, so it kind of layers on top of each other, and there is a little bit of give, so you have almost like this kind of accordion effect. And despite me not usually liking dividers, I actually feel like this is the best of all worlds because you do have that big main compartment there, but you also have some little compartments on the side, but it doesn't take away from the big wide open space, which I love. So you have two slimmer pockets there and then one pocket on either side, and then that huge compartment in the middle. So it fits a decent amount. You also have a little keychain thing right there. And it's just a really beautifully designed bag. Like, I do feel like you can tell with Senreve that they are designed by women because they're actually functional and thoughtful in that way. You have a pocket right there on the back. I just think it's a beautiful style, like really, really underrated. The leather quality is really nice and I just think it's a really sharp looking style. And now for my small size bags, and first up I have my Lady Dior, which I just love so much. And I did originally have the mini one in the lambskin in this kind of lotus color, which is beautiful, but I didn't get along with that. I found it too delicate and I really didn't think I was going to get another Lady Dior. I then saw they released it in the grained calfskin, which was a game changer for me, so I decided to give this one a go and I've been so happy with it. I'm so happy that I did. I would say that I don't love the texture and the finish. It does definitely have a matte, almost bordering on chalky finish. Like, it's not chalky, but it has that kind of feel. I definitely prefer the Chanel more shiny caviar, but nevertheless, I've not had any issues with wear and tear. And it just feels like an incredibly special bag. You know, you have those beautiful charms right there. The access is much improved with the small size versus the mini size. Really can just easily pop your hand in there. It fits a decent amount, obviously a small size bag, but not overly small. You do have that nice thick strap as well. And it's just beautifully done. You know, obviously a very classic style, but with the thicker strap, I do feel like it feels quite fresh as well. And I've been really happy with mine. It's just, oh, it's such a gorgeous style and it is just stunning. And then I have my Totem T-Lock bag and I have been enjoying this so much. It's fairly new to me, but it's been such a great little style, really functional. I have heard mixed things about the wear and tear, so I am definitely keeping an eye on it. It's a bit new for me to see anything like that, but so far in terms of functionality, I have really been enjoying it. I love the little lock. It just turns like so and then opens up. It also has a kind of little folding design. Fits a lot of items considering it is quite a small bag. Like, it fits an absolute ton. I love the fact that you can wear this as a clutch as well if you want to, so you can turn it into a little clutch by taking off these straps. You can also obviously wear it as a crossbody or a little shoulder strap bag too. Really functional. It does have nice little feet on the bottom there. And the leather quality does seem to be really nice. Like, I love that pebbled leather. It feels really lovely. Looks very classic with that contrast stitching as well. And I've been really happy with this. So far, so good. But yeah, definitely a great little addition. I've been really pleased with it. And then next up is my Demelier Vancouver bag, and I've been really happy with this. And Demelier is another brand where I hear mixed things about the quality, wear and tear. I've had no issues with mine so far. You're not going to get, like, you know, £3,000 bag quality in something that's a £300 bag. You know, it's just not the same thing. But for the price that I paid, I have been really happy with it. I think they look absolutely stunning. Like, I love their hardware so much. I did get a tote from them and I did actually have to return that because there was something wrong with the stitching, so maybe quality is an issue, but with this style, I've not had any issues, and I do love the different ways you can wear it. So you do have the little strap right there, which you can kind of wear as a little top handle. You can wear it doubled up, or you can completely lengthen it to either wear crossbody or just on your shoulder. So I love the different ways you can wear it. It just opens up with the little clasp at the bottom there, and then on the inside you have a nice big wide open space and then a slim little pocket right there at the front. It is a fabric lining, so it definitely feels quite lightweight. And I think this is a stunning bag, like really smart looking, a nice mid-range luxury price point as well, and I do think it's really gorgeous. And then I do have my Chanel Coco Handle. This one has definitely been a less successful purchase. I have documented my woes with this bag, but I don't think I went for the right size, and it just feels kind of funny on me in terms of the proportions. So yeah, I've not gotten a ton of use out of this. Definitely has not been a favorite style for me from Chanel. I would definitely be willing and keen to try the next size up. I think the next size down would be way too small because this certainly isn't a huge bag by any means. And functionally, there's nothing wrong with it. So if you do like the way it looks and feels on you, I definitely can't say anything bad about the functionality. You know, it feels very nice in the hand with a little top handle, and it is very comfortable to wear. I just feel like kind of a giant when I wear this. It just feels wrong proportionally for me for some reason. So yeah, I've not been the biggest fan of it, but I do think it's a really lovely style. I think the actual shape is very elegant and just a nice addition to the Chanel lineup. But yeah, this size definitely hasn't completely worked for me. And then I have my Burberry Lola, which is another very underrated style. I feel like I really enjoy mine. The leather is a very nice quality, and it's actually just like a very well thought out, just beautifully made bag, and I really enjoy mine. I do feel like I'm the only person that does, but I think it's a gorgeous little style. You have the Burberry logo right there, that really beautiful kind of quilting design on the leather. The leather is very nice quality. You have that double strap handle where you can kind of wear it full length, but you can also wear it doubled up, which I always really like. You have the beautiful gold chain, which is actually a very substantial heavy weight, and then that leather strap as well opens up with a magnetic closure, and then on the inside it's just a big wide open space. It is a fabric lining which does reduce the weight, but a lot of fabric linings can feel a little bit cheap. This really doesn't. Like, it feels like nice quality. You have a nice pocket right there at the back. It's just like a really solid bag, so I really enjoy mine. I do think it's a nice style. If you were interested in one, definitely wait for a discount. You can always find these on sale if you wait long enough. But yeah, I really enjoy this bag. And within this size category is the Chanel medium flap, and I actually have 3 in this size, even though I think one would only kind of qualify as a classic flap, but I have this kind of medium size. So the first one is a pale pink one. So this one I got pre-loved. It is quite an old style because it does have that gold plating right there. This one has seen quite a bit of wear and tear, so I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but the color has changed a little bit from where it's been exposed to the sun, so I probably could re-dye it, but it doesn't really bother me that much. You do have that really nice braiding detail all the way through. Charlotte actually wore this from Sex and the City, like in Sex and the City, which made me love it even more. And it's just a really beautiful style, and there's definitely wear on it though. Like, you can see its age, so it does have some wear right there on the back, but all things considered, I actually think it's done pretty well. It's not a double flap one, so it's just a single flap, but despite that, it's not too pointy at the top there. And yeah, it's just a really, really pretty style. I got it for a fairly good price as well, and just one of those solid bags which I can't really imagine parting ways with. And now for a proper trip down memory lane, but this is the first ever Chanel bag that I got. I got this pre-loved or secondhand from eBay. I definitely couldn't afford a new one, even though the new ones were a lot cheaper back then, but I definitely couldn't afford one from the boutique, so I saved and I saved, and I got this one from eBay. And I love this bag so much. Like, I wore this all the time. It was just my most prized possession, and this was the only Chanel bag I had for absolutely years, so it was my go-to style. It's definitely showing its age and showing how much I wore it now. Like, it's very pointy right there on the top. The sides are collapsing in. But even so, I would say that the leather still looks to be in pretty good condition. It has that classic Chanel turn lock right there, and then on the inside there's no double flap at all, and it is lined in fabric, so this certainly was one of their cheaper lines, but I didn't care. I love this bag so much. It has that bijou silver chain right there. It does have the pocket right there on the back, and yeah, I definitely don't wear this very much anymore. I can't imagine getting rid of it because just so many memories. Very, very loved, and just, yeah, the one that started it all for me. And then from the oldest bag to one of my newest styles, this is the Chanel Classic Flap. This is the newest one I think that I've bought from the boutique. So I got this when I think it was still £5,500 during the pandemic, which is crazy to think about because that wasn't that long ago and how much they've come along in price, but this was like another nerve-wracking one for me because it was just so much money, but I have gotten so much use out of this. I'd say it's definitely one of my most used bags. It's just kind of one of my go-to styles that when I don't know what bag to grab, I'll go for this because it matches everything because it's white and I love the style, and it's just an easy no-brainer bag for me. It definitely still makes me a bit nervous because it is like so light and it is so expensive, and I don't think I would replace it if something did happen to it, but I really do get my wear out of this. I just love it so much. You know, obviously the classic flap is very classic, but yeah, you know, a really solid bag. I think it probably still has some items in. Yes, it does. Has all my cards in from this morning, but yeah, just one of those bags which I absolutely love, and despite the hefty price tag, I do think it's worth it for me. I really just gotten so much use out of it. And then I do have my Louis Vuitton Alma BB. This is in the Damier Azur, and I think this was a limited edition with the braided handles, but I think this is so beautiful, especially with the leather trim. Like, I don't know why they don't make this a permanent part of their collection, because I just feel like the Damier Azur with the leather trim really works. I've spoken about the Alma BB before, but if you're not familiar with it, even though it looks like a small bag, it fits a ton, and that's mainly because of this really great opening. So it zips all the way round, and because of that it opens up really wide, and you can just fit a ton of items inside here. Like, it really is an amazing bag. You can fit in a small umbrella, a bottle of water, like it really is good. You do have that strap. I do wish that the strap was a little bit thicker and adjustable, but that's a minor point. But yeah, I think this bag is so beautiful. Love the color combination. I hope they bring more things out with this kind of damier with the leather trim, because it really is stunning, and yeah, just a classic bag for a reason. And then I do have my Gucci Mini Diana, and again, I feel like I'm the only person that likes this bag. I never hear anyone else talk about it, but I do think it's really beautiful. I never thought I'd be someone who liked a bamboo handle bag. Before this style, I really didn't like them, but it's just beautifully done with this one. It is proper bamboo, which you'll know if you watch my video with Dan, because we looked it up, and it is actually proper bamboo, but it's very comfortable. It doesn't look it, but it's a very comfortable bag to wear. I love the fact that the handles are stiff enough that you can choose to wear them up or completely down. Like, I love that flexibility. It does also come with a longer strap too, so you can wear it a whole bunch of ways. I feel like it looks good every single way as well. Fits a surprising amount for such a small bag. And it's just one of those styles which I just think kind of works. Like, the detailing on it is really nice. I've not had any issues with the leather either. And even though I feel like the bamboo handles might make you think that it's a summer only style, I've actually worn this in winter and I really love the look as well. So yeah, definitely still a firm favourite. Very much an underrated one, I think. Even though it is much more expensive now, I do still think it's worth the price, and yeah, just an absolute firm favourite for me. And then I have my little mini Loewe, and this one I believe comes in quite a few sizes. I went for the mini one, and it's actually a really great little style. I do think that there could be improvements to the design. Like, I do find that the handles are a little bit awkward when I'm wearing it crossbody. Like, I never know whether to kind of try and stand them up or tuck them in, so I feel like that could be improved, but I do think it's a great little style to take on holiday, because it is light as air. Like, it feels like nothing at all, but it also feels weirdly like sturdy and robust as well. Obviously this isn't going to work if you don't like kind of big logos, because you do have the Loewe right there, which is quite prominent, but I think this is kind of adorable. I like the little brown thin strap as well. Fits a decent amount, and it's just one of those really lovely kind of summer styles. So really been happy with this. I took this to Italy, and I think I also took it to Barbados too. Still think this is a really nice little style. If you like Loewe and you didn't want to spend thousands on a summer style, this is a really adorable one. Okay, so now onto mini bags. If you have made it this far, I applaud you. Like, I feel like I'm in need of a snack or a drink or something, but we're gonna persevere. So mini bags are next, and I do have my little Louis Vuitton mini pochette, or the East West bag, which is just so great. I mentioned before, but basically all my issues with the original Pochette Métis bag were fixed with this style. I liked the original, but it just felt a bit too boxy and cumbersome for me, whereas this is basically just a shrunk down version, which I really love. You do have that little top handle and the longer strap. It does come with a chunky chain also, which I've used a total of just 0 times. I really don't like that chain at all. It comes with a zipped back pocket right there, and then just opens with a little kind of closure like so. And then it has almost an accordion style right there. I just realized there's a hair tie in there. You do have a zippered kind of pocket in the middle. Not my favorite, but because there is quite a lot of give with the material, you can still fit a lot inside. So this is a really solid one. If you like your monogram bags, then I would definitely check this one out. If you also had the same kind of thoughts about the Pochette Métis, I've been really happy with this, and I just think it's a great little design, and yeah, just a really nice one from Louis Vuitton. And now for my small classic flaps. This is the only one I still have in this size, and this one I actually got pre-loved. It's kind of a taupe colour with a grained leather, the caviar and light gold hardware. Just a really neutral combination, and just a great little style. I love this size bag. I think it's priced way too high now, especially because it is very mini, but it's basically just a shrunk down version of the medium classic flap. You can't actually tell the difference too much in terms of the capacity. Like, it fits slightly less than the medium, but not an insane amount at all. And you know, it's just the small classic flap. I feel like everyone is familiar with this bag, but I love this combination. Really lovely, and yeah, just a really nice neutral one. And next up is my Tory Burch Eleanor, and this is another one which I feel like is so underrated. It is such a beautiful bag. It feels so substantial, it's beautifully made, and usually I'm not one for massive Tory Burch logos, but I weirdly just think it works for this bag. I've seen this in so many different colours. I feel like it looks good in every single colour combination. It has a very nice substantial braided chain. It does have the habit of getting a little bit twisted, but I love the design so much that I don't mind that so much. And you have that nice magnetic closure. Doesn't fit a ton, and it is a very, very structured, solid bag. So there's no give or anything like that, but it is quite deep, and it does, you know, you can fit a decent amount in there. Not huge, but certainly enough for your essentials. And I just think this is a beautiful one. So if you were kind of after a nice evening style, but you didn't want to spend like major money, but you wanted kind of a more special occasion bag, I actually feel like this is a really nice shout. It feels and looks fancy, like it really does when you actually feel it in your hand. Very substantial, and yeah, I'm just a huge fan of this. I think it's gorgeous. And then I do have my little Gucci horse bit, which is definitely a new one in my collection, but it just becomes such a fast, firm favourite for me. I think it's a beautiful design from Gucci. You do have that horse bit logo right there. So this one is the kind of sparkly one. You can get the plain one as well. This comes in a few different sizes and color combinations and styles. Like you have like a slightly smaller one, you have like a slimmed down wallet on chain one. Like there are a few different iterations. The leather is a really nice kind of hardy one, so really kind of scratch proof, scratch resistant. You have that lovely hardware as well. Like it's a really beautiful shiny gold. This comes with a little embellished gold chain as well, so you do have a whole variety of ways to wear it, and it just kind of closes with the front flap. It's just a big wide open space. This is another one that does have a fabric lining, but despite that, it doesn't feel cheap. It feels nicely done, and you do have a ton of room as a result of that. So it can actually fit a surprising amount inside. And I love this bag, like a really lovely style from Gucci. Definitely more on the pricey side, but oh, I just love that logo. I feel like there is no one that does their kind of logos and emblems as well as Gucci. It's just beautiful, and I've been so happy with this. And next up is my mini Loewe puzzle bag. This one I definitely love a lot less than my small size one. It's just so small, and it's not even the actual size, but the issues with the opening and the lack of access with the small one are really exaggerated when it comes to the mini one. So definitely something to keep in mind. Like it is very cute, but because of that small opening, like you kind of scratch your hand every single time, and it's just a little bit more cumbersome to use. So yeah, it's a very cute style. I love the way it looks. I love the fact that it's not super flashy either. This one does come with silver hardware, which is an unusual one for me. Usually I prefer my gold hardware, but the white, it just really kind of goes. Like it's not a super stark white, it's a bit more of a softer color. And yeah, I like the look of it, but that opening is just very small, and yeah, it's not the easiest bag to access and use. So very cute, but my preference is definitely with the next size up. And now for my little Celine Triumph bag. I'm getting so many requests for a review on this, so I will try and do that as soon as I can. But this is a really beautiful style. The leather has been holding up quite well so far. It's very shiny, and I was so nervous about it, but so far so good. I've been actually really impressed with it. It has the same opening as my Nino bag, so it literally just opens up like so. Again, I don't like that opening. I feel like it's a bit stiff, and it's just not that easy to manage. Yeah, not a fan of the opening, but the interior is actually very nice. So it is lined in leather. You do have a slight accordion effect. It isn't huge, but you have that slimmer pocket right there on the front and the wide open space. You can fit in a decent amount. You have a little zip pocket right there. When I say a decent amount, I would say a decent amount for a mini bag. Obviously, this is very small. Lots of people told me that it was like too tiny to be functional, which is why I think the next size up is so popular. But you can fit in your essentials, so you can fit in, you know, your phone. I have the 13 Pro, a little wallet, lipstick, keys, that sort of thing, which is really all I need when I go out, but it's certainly not huge. I do want to say that. You don't have any feet or anything like that, but you do have the beautiful shiny leather that carries all the way through. A nice adjustable little strap, and it's just a really beautiful style. So I've really been enjoying it. I will try and do that review as soon as I can, but yeah, definitely a really lovely one. I've definitely been on a Celine kick recently, and I've just been enjoying their styles so much. And then next up is quite a new addition to my collection, but it's my Louis Vuitton On The Go BB bag. This is such an adorable little style. It is very, very small, but I was pretty much completely sold on it from the beautiful watercolor print. It is so, so pretty. It's almost kind of tropical because it does have all those beautiful colors. You have pinks and oranges and reds, like it's really, really lovely. And then it's all over, but I don't feel like it looks too much. And you have all those beautiful hardware details, like it's just such a stunning little bag. It is non-prance style, but I'm hoping because it is smaller, I'm going to see less wear and tear on this one. I do feel like it could have benefited from feet, which they didn't do, but I'm okay with that. Like, I just think that the print is just so beautiful. Comes with a nice longer strap as well, so you can wear it, you know, on the shoulder, cross body if you want. It does fasten with a little kind of clip right there, one little pocket, and other than that, just a wide open space. It is certainly very small, but you can fit in your essentials, and I can fit in my phone, which is always a deal breaker for me. And yeah, I just think it's adorable, very fun for summer, and I just love this print so much. And then next up, I do have my Chanel minis. I actually only have 2 left, so I sold off all of my rectangle minis after years of trying to make them work. I finally came to the conclusion that I just don't really like the rectangle mini too much. I find the chain just too long and I never ever wore them. So I now only have my 2 square minis, which I'm really happy with. My original one right here, and I actually toyed with the idea of parting ways with this one because I haven't worn this in ages. But I'm just so scared that you literally can't buy these anymore in the grain leather, and so yeah, just in case I ever decide to really start using it again, I think I'd just be too concerned. So at the moment it is staying put, and it is just like the ultimate classic for me. It has caviar leather, gold hardware, really robust, it fits a decent amount for such a small bag. I've traveled with this, like it has been through the walls with me, and it still looks literally good as new. Like this is a really, really indestructible style. And it's just such a beautiful little bag. And I do also have my blue one here as well. So this was actually a gift from my brother, and bright pop of colour, nothing that I'd usually go for, but I kind of love it because of that. It has the most beautiful puffy lambskin as well. I still remember when he gave it to me, like it was such an incredible surprise. He doesn't usually give me Chanel bags. It was because I did a favour for him, and I guess he was just very grateful and appreciative, so he wanted to get me this as a really, really big thank you, and I was just so blown away. He did so much research. He watched all my videos on the different mini sizes, and honestly I'm tearing up just thinking about it again. It was just like the nicest, most thoughtful gift. And yeah, just like a completely treasured one because of that. And the leather is just so, so beautiful. And then I do have my 2 Center of Arias. So I whittled down my collection, so I do only have my chestnut ones, which are by far my favorite ones that I have ever owned. Like the color is really, really beautiful. It's just the perfect warm brown shade. So I have my original plain one right here, and then I do have my mock rock one right here, which is just so luxe and gorgeous. So this one is technically a belt bag. I have literally never worn it as a belt bag. It is strictly a little shoulder bag for me. So I just have one of their little chains attached right here. So I just swap out the chain between the 2 different styles. Like I don't feel the need to get another chain for each one because I only wear one bag at a time. It's a really simple little bag. It has their gorgeous little powder blue lining right there, big wide open space, little card holder pockets right there at the front, and then one larger pocket, and then you also have a little slot pocket right there on the front as well. Really, really robust. These are great little travel bags as well if you wanted something super sturdy, still feels kind of luxe but didn't cost thousands. I always feel like the Aria is such a great shout, and I just think they look gorgeous, and I love the combination with the little chain. And now for my mini Burberry Lola, and much like my small size one, I just adore this little style, and I think I'm the only one, but it's just so, so cute. I tend to only wear this one in summer just because it is so small. I feel like it looks a little bit off when it comes to heavier layers, but I think it works perfectly with light summer dresses and skirts and that sort of thing. It is very small, but I can fit in my essentials. Has that same quilted design and Burberry logo right there. Inside, very, very simple, again, fabric lining, pocket right there at the back, and you have that very nice substantial chain, which despite it being very heavy, is actually still quite comfortable, I guess because the leather part of the bag is still quite lightweight. So I am in the minority, but I do really enjoy this bag. I just think it's absolutely adorable, especially in this color combination. And then I have my Saint Laurent Gabby bag, which is such a great little style from Saint Laurent. Like if you're in the market for something that's just very small and petite, but you didn't necessarily want like a wallet on a chain, this is such a nice option. Like yes, it is very small, but it can fit in a decent amount because the leather is so soft and malleable. and I just think it's beautiful. Like, it has very vintage Chanel vibes to me with that beautiful quilting and that YSL logo right there. Opens up very easily and it can fit a decent amount. This comes in white and I also think the nude as well. I'm not totally sure I made the right decision going for the black, but I think it's gorgeous no matter what colour you get. A really nice leather strap which is adjustable too. You have a nice bit of gold hardware which dresses up a bit. I just think it's a great style. I do think they've increased the price since I got it, but I do still think this is under £1,000 in the UK. And yeah, I think it's a really lovely one. The leather is beautiful quality and just a really solid style from Saint Laurent. And then I have my little Anya Heinemuch bag, and this is such a great little style. Not really a super popular one that I see mentioned at all, but Anya Heinemuch do beautiful, beautiful styles. You can also often find them on sale as well. And for the price that you pay, I genuinely think you're getting a lot for your money. Like, they are really thoughtfully designed, beautifully made. The leather quality is always very nice. Hardware aspects are lovely and they're just kind of great. So this one is like a proper summer bag. So you do have that really lovely woven leather aspect and you have that little bow detail right there in the leather, which I think is so clever. Opens up with a little magnetic closure. You do have a little long strap. It also comes with a wristlet as well. So you can wear this so many ways. You can wear it as a wristlet, as a clutch, as a crossbody, as a shoulder strap bag, like so many ways. Opens up like so. You have these little card holder slots right there. Really simple, the perfect summer holiday bag because it is so lightweight as well. And yeah, it's just a great little style. Huge fan of this, huge fan of Anya Heinemuch in general. I think she's just stunning styles and yeah, really, really underrated in my view. And then finally, we have made it to the last category of bag, which is wallet on chains / pouches or clutches. So first up, I do have my Chanel WOCs, which technically I guess is an SLG, but I do wear it as a bag. This is so great. I also got this one pre-loved. I don't think I made a massive saving, but I was happy just to save a little bit off. And it's been like a surprisingly, amazingly useful bag. I almost always take this traveling with me because I use it to store my travel documents when I'm actually traveling. And then when I get to my travel destination, I use it as a little clutch. I think it's great. So you have a little pocket right there on the back and then just opens up with a zipper right there. Very, very roomy. I just pop in my passports, my cash, all that good stuff. Super, super versatile. And I like the fact that I can then just store it in my kind of traveling tote. Keeps it safe and it's just really, really useful. And I do think it looks smart enough that you can wear it as a clutch as well without it feeling like you're just trying to make it into something that's not. So I'm a huge fan of this. I would definitely recommend if you were after something that kind of fits this purpose. It's been so great, very easy to care for, and yeah, just a great little buy. And then I do have my little Fendi pouch as well. I got this, I think maybe like 4 or 5 years ago now, and I don't think it's available anymore, but I love this bag. I know it's really in your face, but I think it's a really fun summer bag. I tend to mostly use this when I'm on holiday. I took this with me when we went on our very belated honeymoon. And it was just great. It definitely isn't for people who don't like their logos, but I think it's kind of great. Very, very simple. So, you know, probably wasn't worth the money because obviously it was quite expensive coming from Fendi, but really simple raffia. It does have leather trim, that big Fendi logo on the front there. And then it's just very simple on the inside. No pockets, like there's no bells or whistles at all, but just a really fun little clutch. And I do actually still get a fair amount of use out of it. And now for my little kind of Saint Laurent pouch collection. So I have 3 here. So I have my original envelope clutch / wallet on chain. This was the first one that I got. This in the pearl pink grained leather and then the YSL logo right there. This is the one that I had the burn mark on. I burnt at a wedding. It's just like the saddest thing. It does have a very substantial gold chain. Opens up. So I believe they've changed the design since I got this. My one is the one that comes with literally just dozens of card holder slots. I don't know why they put so many in. I don't think that the new ones have that though, which is a good design decision because I have a lot of cards and I cannot fathom needing this many. It's just an insane number. You have that little zip pocket right there in the middle. Apart from that, very standard wallet on chain, but it is a really beautiful clutch. Very, very classic looking. It doesn't date and yeah, it's just a really beautiful style. And then on the slightly more affordable end, I do have my little wristlet right here, which doesn't have the wristlet anymore because it broke and I just haven't gotten around to fixing it. But it is the kind of slightly more intricate pattern on the front. This one definitely feels less substantial than the more expensive counterpart in the envelope clutch, but you wouldn't be able to tell from the look of it. Like, it still looks very luxurious. It's also very, very robust. Like, I have worn this so much. I've traveled with it and like there's nothing wrong with it at all. The stitching is still perfect. There's nothing wrong with the leather. So even though they don't cost as much as some of the higher end models in Saint Laurent's lineup, like, you'd never be able to tell from the wear and tear. It's done very, very well. It does have a fabric lining, so it is very light as well. You just have one pocket right there on the back. Very simple, but just a really nice solid little clutch, a nice size as well, like just right in terms of, you know, wanting to pop it under your shoulder but also being comfortable enough to carry in your hand, and definitely a worthy consideration if you were looking for this kind of size. And then I have my Gucci wallet on chain, which I have in 2 colours because I love it so much. Again, a really underrated one, I think. Like, this is a great style. So this is the original one that I got, and my favourite thing about it is the fact that it does come with a little mirror right there. So handy, because it just eliminates the need for one whole thing that you need to pack with you. You need to do a quick little lipstick check throughout dinner. Just open your bag subtly and you check right there. Like, it's just so good. I love it. I hope more bags incorporate that design feature. You have a kind of standard wallet on chain layout, to be honest with you. So there's an open compartment right there. You have card slots at the back. You have a zippered compartment and then one slip pocket right there at the front. The leather is definitely harder. Despite that, I've not really seen too much wear and tear on the corners, which, considering I also travel with this bag, is really impressive. The little chain does come off as well, so you can wear it as a clutch, but you can also wear it as a crossbody. And I just think it's gorgeous, so much so that I did get the grey one as well. This one actually comes with a dual colourway, so it's a light grey throughout, but then on the inside you have that beautiful baby pink. So I would definitely recommend looking this one up if you are a fan of wallet on chains and you did want something like this in your collection. It works really beautifully as an evening clutch, but it's also very functional as a general wallet on chain. And yeah, I just absolutely love mine, especially that genius little mirror feature. And now for my very last bag. So this is the Chanel reissue wallet on chain. I bought this from Heathrow when I was traveling through one time. I was so happy when I saw that they had this. It wasn't on my radar at all, but when I saw the combination, I just fell in love. It has the classic reissue distressed leather, that reissue turn lock right there, and it just opens up like so. So you have that kind of brushed gold hardware, and then again just a classic wallet on chain design. So wide open compartment, card slots at the back, little zip pocket right there. You do have an additional slip pocket right there, as well as the one on the front. I have travelled with this one and it's done pretty well in terms of the wear and tear. The distressing on the leather definitely does help, and it's just an adorable little style. So I don't use it all the time. I don't use wallet on chains all the time, but I can't really see myself parting ways with this one. I just think it's so beautiful and the colour combination is just so gorgeous. And yeah, I just really, really love it. So that wraps up my entire bag collection. If you made it this far, I applaud you. You're also a crazy bag person like me. I hope that you enjoyed it if you did make it this far. If you have any questions for me, then leave me a comment. If you want to see any kind of bag comparison videos or more detailed reviews, let me know in the comment section and I will try and add it to my filming list. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a thumbs up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.